In the sleepless buzz of Lagos tech world, Amara Kohn works late into the night, her phone glowing beside piles of unfinished tasks. She is young, ambitious, and guards her heart with the same discipline she gives her work. But one slip changes everything. Tired and distracted, she types a short text meant for her brother, the kind of casual comfort she has always given him, "I love you." With a careless swipe, the message flies not to family but to Kwame Okoye, her billionaire CEO, a man whose name alone carries weight in every boardroom. For a breathless second, the world seems to stop. Did she really just tell her boss she loves him? The thought is absurd, terrifying, and yet electrifying. The mistake lands like a spark on dry grass. Amara stares at her screen, her pulse racing, knowing that in a company where gossip moves faster than code, this tiny accident could destroy her. Was it just a mistake, or does it reveal something she has buried even from herself? The audience leans in, caught between laughter and dread, because everyone knows how one wrong text can change everything. In that moment, Amara is not just a hard-working professional anymore, she is suddenly vulnerable, exposed, and standing on the edge of a scandal she never saw coming. The unanswered question burns: how will Kwame respond? And more dangerously, what hidden stories might this message unlock in both of their lives? The next morning the office feels different, charged, as if everyone is breathing gossip instead of air. Amara walks in with her usual quiet focus, but the shift in glances is impossible to miss. Whispers trail behind her like smoke. Phones tilt, messages flash, laughter cuts off when she passes. Her friends Zuri Ndlovu and Amina Diatta rush to her side, both trying to keep calm while hiding their own panic. Zuri, bold and quick with words, tells her to delete the message, act like nothing happened, and keep her head down. Amina, softer but sharper with strategy, insists this is already bigger than Amara knows, that pretending will not stop the fire now catching in every corner of the building. Amara wants to believe it is just office gossip that will fade, but in her gut she knows Zuri and Amina are right, nothing in Kwame Okoye's orbit stays small. By afternoon the rumors leap beyond the walls of the company. A junior analyst mentions overhearing that a reporter in Accra is already asking questions about the mystery text sent to the billionaire CEO. An investor's assistant calls, fishing for details, their tone too casual to be innocent. Screenshots appear, blurred but dangerous, hinting at something intimate and forbidden. Amara's mistake, once private, now grows into a story carried on fast fingers and careless mouths. She feels the walls closing in, every email ping sounding like a warning bell. Her friends huddle with her in the break room, voices low. Zuri wants to start her own rumor, to distract attention, but Amina shakes her head, lies will only fuel the storm. They both agree on one thing: Amara must prepare for the worst. Already she can feel her reputation being pulled apart, thread by thread, not by enemies but by curiosity and speculation. In the world of billion-dollar deals and fragile egos, one careless text has become proof of ambition, desire, scandal, betrayal. Whatever story outsiders choose to tell. The pressure builds by the hour. Amara, usually invisible in her discipline, is now the center of a spotlight she never wanted. Every choice feels dangerous: to speak, to deny, to stay silent. She looks at Zuri and Amina, both fierce in their loyalty, and asks the question she dreads: how do you survive when your private slip becomes everyone's entertainment? Neither has an answer, only a warning. In this world, mistakes don't fade, they multiply. And already, this one is on its way to Accra, whispered into phones, written into notes, soon to be headlines. Amara feels the weight of it pressing on her chest, heavier with every breath, as if the city itself is waiting for her downfall. The office hums with keyboards and nervous laughter, but underneath it all, the rumor beats louder than any machine. Amara's phone buzzes in her hand just when she thinks maybe, somehow, Kwame will ignore the message and move on. She stares at the screen, heart pounding so hard she feels it in her ears. His name flashes. For a second, she cannot breathe. She opens the message, and what she reads makes her blood run cold. It is short, sharp, and strangely intimate. No warmth, no humor, no casual dismissal, just a reply that slices through her panic and leaves her stunned, a line that feels less like a rejection and more like a riddle. The words are simple but carry weight, like he has been waiting for this moment. Her fingers tremble, and her mind races. This is not the response of a man brushing off a mistake. This is something else, something deeper. The office noise fades into the background as she rereads the message again and again. Every word feels like it has two meanings, one on the surface and one hidden beneath. For Amara, who wanted nothing more than to disappear into her work, this is a nightmare. For the audience, it is a hook. Why would Kwame, a man known for icy professionalism, choose to respond in this way? Why reveal a crack in his perfect, controlled image now? The coldness of the message hurts, but the mystery inside it grips her. She tries to hide her reaction, but Zuri notices the change in her face instantly. What did he say? Zuri whispers. Amara cannot answer at first. She knows repeating his words will only make them more powerful, more real. When she finally tells Zuri and Amina, both women fall silent, wide-eyed. His message is not an end, it is a beginning. Amina warns her that this changes everything, that Kwame now holds a kind of power over her no one can predict. Amara feels exposed, as if he has stepped into her private world without asking permission. The rumors already circling outside the office now seem to carry a sharper edge, as though people can somehow sense that the CEO himself is not brushing this off. Every glance feels heavier, every whisper closer. Amara struggles to stay composed, but inside she is shaken. She does not know if Kwame is mocking her, warning her, or testing her. The uncertainty is torture. For the audience, his message flips the story. What seemed like a simple accident becomes a window into something bigger. The polished image of Kwame Okoye, the untouchable billionaire, begins to crack. There are secrets hiding behind his cold reply, secrets that suggest this was not random. Instead of ending the scandal, his words promise that the real story is just beginning. Amara knows she has stepped into something dangerous, and the viewers know the same. The power has shifted, and nothing will ever go back to normal. Amara sits at her desk, trying to drown in spreadsheets, but the weight of Kwame's reply clings to her like a shadow. As her eyes glaze over the numbers, memories slip through the cracks. The story pulls us back to Kigali, years earlier, where a younger Amara stands in a dimly lit room, clutching schoolbooks while listening to her father Musa Kone argue with creditors at the door. His voice, once full of promise, is heavy with desperation. Debt has eaten away at their family, and Amara, still just a girl, learns quickly that dreams cost money she doesn't have. She studies harder than anyone, not out of love for books, but out of fear that failure will trap her family forever. The flashback shifts to Dakar, where she takes her first job. Long hours, low pay, but she wears a steady mask. While others laugh during breaks, Amara keeps her head down, ignoring invitations, ignoring feelings, telling herself emotions are distractions she cannot afford. We see her father again, Musa, older and weaker, his once fierce presence now haunted by regret. Amara shoulders responsibility like armor. She pays bills, sends money home, and hides the cracks in her heart behind endless work. Her friends beg her to rest, to live, but she refuses. Survival is her only priority. These flashes of her past explain why she now reacts the way she does to Kwame's text. She has trained herself to never show weakness, to never let anyone inside. Yet that late-night slip, the simple, "I love you," was born from the small part of her that still longs for closeness, the part she has buried for years. It is not just a careless mistake. It is a crack in the wall she built to keep her heart safe. We see her teenage self crying silently in Kigali, promising she will never let anyone see her pain. We see her in Dakar, working past exhaustion, hiding her tears in the bathroom before returning to her desk with a steady face. And then we return to the present Amara in Lagos, frozen with her phone in hand, caught between the mask she shows the world and the vulnerable girl who once whispered, "I love you," without fear. The flashbacks add a layer of inevitability, as though this accident was always waiting to happen. Amara's story is not just about one wrong text. It is about years of holding back, of burying her feelings so deep that when they finally slip out, they explode into the wrong hands at the worst possible moment. The audience now understands why she is so guarded, why she fears shame, and why Kwame's cryptic reply cuts so deep. This is not just workplace drama anymore, it is the story of a woman haunted by her past, finally forced to face emotions she has run from all her life. The fire Amara feared finally explodes when a blurry screenshot of her message appears online. At first, it looks fake, the kind of thing people invent for clicks, but within hours it spreads across social feeds like a storm. Memes pop up, gossip blogs twist the story, and strangers argue about her life as if they know her. Some laugh, some attack, others spin wild tales about a secret romance between the billionaire CEO and his young employee. Amara scrolls through the chaos in disbelief, her chest tightening with every notification. What was once a private mistake is now public property, and she feels her dignity slipping away with every retweet. While she struggles to stay calm in Lagos, the scandal reaches Nairobi, where Kwame attends a glittering fundraiser full of investors, diplomats, and cameras. An investor corners him, voice low but sharp, demanding to know if the rumors are true. Kwame's face stays polished, but his eyes flash with something darker, more personal. For the first time, the gossip is not just embarrassing, it threatens the empire he has built. His every move is watched, every word dissected, and he knows that even silence can be weaponized. The confrontation leaves a question hanging in the air: how much of this story is business, and how much is personal? Back at the office, Amara is called into a performance review. The timing is cruel. The room feels colder than usual, the air heavy with judgment. Colleagues avoid her eyes, some out of pity, others out of quiet satisfaction. She sits across from her supervisors, knowing the questions will not only be about her work. The words, professional conduct, and company image, cut deeper than any critique of her spreadsheets or reports. For years she has given everything to prove herself, to outrun her past, and now it feels like it could all collapse because of one message. The pressure around her grows unbearable, but something unexpected begins to shift. Not everyone in the office sees her as guilty. Some co-workers, usually silent, begin to show quiet support, an encouraging nod, a whispered, "Stay strong." Even strangers online, buried among the noise, speak out against the cruelty, reminding people that mistakes happen, that women in her position are too easily shamed. For the first time since the message went out, Amara feels a flicker of sympathy cutting through the storm. Yet loyalty in this world is never simple. Friends, colleagues, and even allies are forced to choose sides between ambition and compassion, between protecting the company's image and defending Amara's humanity. She stands in the middle of it all, her reputation hanging by a thread, her career under attack, and her heart caught between shame and the strange, cold mystery of Kwame's reply. Every step she takes now could save her, or destroy her completely. Just when Amara feels she is losing control of everything, a shocking twist begins to unfold. Late at night, while scrolling through endless articles and cruel comments about herself, she stumbles across a thread from someone claiming to know the truth about Kwame's reply. At first, she dismisses it as another baseless rumor, but then more pieces of evidence start to surface. An old colleague of her late mentor posts a message hinting that Kwame's words were not casual at all, that they were carefully chosen, part of something deeper. Confused and desperate for answers, Amara digs further, and what she learns changes everything. It turns out Kwame had a connection to her past that she never knew about. Her late mentor, a figure who once guided her through her early career and believed in her when no one else did, had made Kwame promise to look after her from afar. The text that felt cold and cruel now reads differently. It carries the weight of that old promise, layered with meanings only Kwame fully understands. Suddenly, the idea that he has been watching her isn't paranoia. It is real. He has been observing her growth, her resilience, her integrity, not because of scandal, but because of loyalty to someone she loved and lost. This revelation turns the story upside down. The man the world sees as untouchable and ruthless now appears far more complicated. Behind the polished suits and sharp words is a man carrying secrets of his own, a man playing a role to protect both his empire and a private mission tied to Amara's life. His cold public posture hides a quieter truth. He has been testing her, watching how she handles pressure, how she stands in storms, how she refuses to bend even when surrounded by whispers. For Amara, the discovery is dizzying. Part of her feels betrayed, as if her struggles have been observed like an experiment without her consent. Another part of her feels strangely seen, as though someone has finally understood the cost of her sacrifices. The audience, too, is pulled into this twist. What seemed like a simple office scandal is no longer about gossip. It is about promises, hidden loyalties, and two lives bound together long before a mistaken text. But the truth also complicates everything. If Kwame has been protecting her because of her mentor, what does that mean for her career? Will people say she only advanced because of connections? If his motives are exposed, will it destroy the company's credibility? And what about the feelings stirring inside her now, feelings she has worked so hard to bury? The twist raises more questions than answers, and that is what makes it powerful. The scandal that began with a careless, "I love you," now reveals cracks in a larger story, one about trust, legacy, and the dangerous line between duty and desire. The storm finally reaches its peak in Johannesburg, at a high-profile press event meant to showcase the company's newest project. Cameras flash, journalists fill the hall, and investors watch from the front row. Amara sits in the wings, her chest tight, knowing her life could change in minutes. For days, whispers of betrayal inside the boardroom have been building. A whistleblower has hinted at corruption within the company, and now private texts, some real, some manipulated, are threatening to spill into the open. The world is no longer just watching Kwame, they are watching her too. As the event begins, the tension is unbearable. Reporters throw sharp questions about the leaked messages, the alleged affair, and the company's integrity. Kwame stands tall on stage, his face unreadable, but Amara sees the strain in his jaw, the crack in his perfect mask. Behind the scenes, she has uncovered enough to know that the truth could burn everything down. Some of the texts used against her are twisted versions of real conversations. Someone inside the boardroom wants to ruin both her and Kwame, using the scandal as cover for their own betrayal. The whistleblower, hidden in the crowd, passes a final file to Amara. Her hands shake as she opens it. It contains proof of who orchestrated the leaks and why. With this, she could expose the lies, clear her name, and maybe bring down powerful people who underestimated her. But it comes with a cost. If she speaks out, she risks her job, her safety, and the fragile promise Kwame made to her late mentor. If she stays silent, she keeps her position but lets others write her story for her, branding her forever as a careless girl who texted, "I love you," to the wrong man. The cameras swing her way as a reporter calls her name, demanding her side of the story. In that moment, time slows. Zuri and Amina sit in the audience, their faces full of worry and hope. Kwame's eyes meet hers across the stage, heavy with unspoken truths. The hall waits, every microphone pointed at her, every screen ready to broadcast her words to the world. Amara takes a breath. This is the choice she has been running from her whole life: stay hidden behind her work, or step forward and claim her own voice. She remembers her father's debts, her mentor's faith, the years of silence and sacrifice. She remembers the cruelty of the rumors, the sting of Kwame's reply, and the strength she found in herself when everyone else doubted her. With steady hands, she steps toward the microphone. Her decision is clear: she will no longer be the victim of someone else's story. Whether she exposes the full truth or flips the scandal into her own message, the climax belongs to her. For the first time, Amara holds the power, and the world is watching. The headlines do not stop for days. Every major outlet runs the story with Amara's name tied to it, some calling her brave, others calling her reckless. Social feeds explode with debates: was she a victim, a fighter, or both? Videos of her speech at the Johannesburg press event circulate everywhere, replayed millions of times. For the first time, people are not just gossiping about her mistake, but about her courage to stand up and take control of the narrative. In offices, coffee shops, and homes across cities, her name is spoken with a mix of scandal and respect. Inside the company, the fallout is heavy. Board members scramble, investors demand answers, and Kwame himself is forced to confront the fractures in his empire. The man who once looked untouchable now seems human, still powerful but shaken. Yet instead of collapsing, his company recalibrates, reshaping its image, its leadership, and its priorities. Whispers about Amara's role in exposing corruption refuse to fade, and in many circles, she is praised as the one who pushed change forward, even if it cost her everything. Amara walks away from the chaos, not defeated but transformed. Offers come her way: some want her to take a leadership role in a social venture that aligns with her values, while others encourage her to finally break free and build something of her own. She chooses her next step with calm determination, no longer hiding behind fear or shame. The same girl who once buried her emotions under work now stands tall, ready for a new path that belongs only to her. The story closes on her walking into the future, steady and unshaken, while the world wonders what she will do next. The final beat leaves viewers stunned, satisfied, and already craving the sequel.